It started as a normal press junket, bright lights, laughter, and the usual questions about Sam Heughan's new film. But within minutes, the tone shifted, and what began as a harmless interview turned into the moment that sent both fandoms into absolute chaos. The host, smiling mischievously, leaned forward and asked, "Sam, you've been linked with some of Hollywood's most admired women. But who do you find most captivating right now?" Sam laughed, trying to dodge the question. "Oh, come on," he said. "You're trying to get me in trouble." But the host didn't back down. "Just one name. Who's your Hollywood crush?" The audience laughed, the cameras zoomed in, and Sam hesitated for a split second, long enough for the silence to feel electric. Then he said it. "Dakota Johnson. She's extraordinary. I've always admired her. Maybe more than I should." The crowd erupted. Gasps, laughter, applause. Even the host was momentarily stunned. Sam blushed, clearly realizing what he'd just said, but the moment had already gone viral. Within minutes, social media exploded. Clips from the interview flooded Twitter and TikTok, with captions like, "Sam Heughan confesses his love for Dakota Johnson, fearful face," and "Caitriona won't be happy about this." At first, fans thought it was a joke, just another charming, flirty comment from the famously charismatic Scotsman. But when a second clip surfaced, one where Sam added, "She has that rare combination of grace and strength. I'd love to work with her, or maybe something more," everything changed. Within hours, the internet divided into factions. Outlander fans were furious. "How could he say that knowing Caitriona's watching?" one comment read. Another wrote, "We've shipped Sam and Caitriona for a decade, and he says this?" Meanwhile, Dakota's fans celebrated, calling it the crossover we never expected. But no one's reaction was more anticipated than Caitriona Balfe's. Only 2 days later, she appeared on a red carpet for a charity event in London. As usual, she was radiant, confident smile, perfect posture. But when the inevitable question came, her expression changed ever so slightly. A reporter asked casually, "Caitriona, have you seen Sam's interview where he confessed his admiration for Dakota Johnson?" The cameras zoomed in. Her smile froze for half a second before she replied, "I have." The crowd laughed awkwardly, sensing tension. "And what do you think about it?" the reporter pressed. Caitriona took a deep breath, her tone polite but sharp. "I think Sam has always been very expressive," she said carefully. "He tends to speak from the heart, sometimes maybe a little too much." She smiled again, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. The clip cut off right there, but it was enough. The internet blew up all over again. "She's clearly upset," one fan posted. "Look at her face." Others defended her, saying she was just being professional. Still, the video racked up millions of views, and soon hashtags like #CaitrionaReacted and #SamDakotaDrama were trending worldwide. Behind the scenes, insiders said the tension was real. She wasn't angry, a source close to Caitriona revealed, but she was shocked. No one expected Sam to say something like that on camera, especially with how protective they've always been about their connection. Meanwhile, entertainment outlets began piecing together a timeline. Just weeks earlier, Sam and Caitriona had been seen together promoting Outlander's final season, laughing, teasing, as close as ever. To see him publicly gushing over another woman felt, to fans, like betrayal. Theories flooded Reddit and YouTube. Was this a publicity stunt? Did Sam and Caitriona have a falling out? Could this be his way of moving on emotionally? One viral post claimed that Caitriona had quietly unfollowed Sam's official fan page on Instagram, though no one could prove it. Still, it fueled the fire. Reporters cornered Sam days later at another event. "Sam, do you have anything to say about Caitriona's reaction?" one shouted. He smiled awkwardly, running a hand through his hair. I think everything's been blown out of proportion," he said. "I have nothing but love for Caitriona. We're friends, and Dakota's just someone I admire professionally." But the damage was already done. Fans began dissecting his tone, his choice of words. "Nothing but love" sounded too emotional, too loaded. TikTok edits paired his words with slow-motion shots of Caitriona looking away during her interview, dramatic music swelling underneath. By the weekend, the fandom was at war. He betrayed her, some claimed. They were never more than friends, others argued. Entertainment blogs described it as the most unexpected love triangle of the year. And yet, beneath the chaos, one question lingered. What really happened between them after the cameras stopped? Because according to insiders, Caitriona's calm on the red carpet didn't last long once the lights went out. When the red carpet lights faded and the last camera flash disappeared, Caitriona finally exhaled. For days, she had held herself together, the poised actress, the calm professional. But behind closed doors, the entire situation felt different. According to sources close to her, she went straight back to her hotel room that night and immediately called Sam. The call lasted over an hour. She wasn't angry, one insider revealed. She was hurt. She told him that his words had created a storm she didn't ask for. That people were twisting the story into something that made them both look foolish. Sam, for his part, was remorseful. "I didn't mean to cause chaos," he reportedly told her. "It was supposed to be a light moment. I didn't think people would take it so seriously." But Caitriona knew better. "You've been in this business long enough to know that everything you say gets magnified," she replied, her voice trembling with both frustration and affection. "You should have known this would come back to us." The next morning, entertainment sites were still ablaze with speculation. Headlines screamed. Behind the scenes, Caitriona Balfe confronts Sam Heughan over his Dakota confession. Sources claim Outlander star, furious at co-star's comments. None of it was completely true, but none of it was completely false either. There had been tension, but it wasn't the cold anger people imagined, it was something deeper. After years of working side by side, of sharing an almost telepathic connection on and off screen, Caitriona wasn't just reacting to a PR slip-up. She was reacting to the idea of being replaced, even hypothetically, in the eyes of someone who had always seen her first. Later that week, Sam tried to calm the storm by addressing the issue during a live stream Q&A. "I think things have gotten a bit out of hand," he said with a sheepish grin. "Dakota's a lovely person, but it was just a compliment, nothing more. Caitriona knows me better than anyone. She knows I speak before I think sometimes." His tone was light-hearted, but his eyes gave him away. He looked tired, uneasy. Fans noticed. "He's not himself," one viewer commented. "There's guilt in his eyes." Meanwhile, Caitriona was asked about the situation again during a radio interview. Her response was calm but pointed. "We all make mistakes," she said, "and sometimes, when you care about someone deeply, you expect them to understand the consequences of their words. But we're good. We always will be." That last line, "we're good. We always will be," set the internet ablaze again. Fans flooded social media with messages like, "She forgave him," and "They're back on good terms." Others thought it sounded more like closure, the kind that ends a chapter rather than begins one. Days later, a new twist arrived. Dakota Johnson was spotted at a private event where a reporter asked about Sam's confession. Smiling graciously, she said, "Sam's very charming, isn't he? I think he meant it as flattery, and that's fine. I admire him too. But maybe he should buy Caitriona a drink after all this." Her comment was playful, but it struck a chord. The next morning, tabloids ran with the headline, "Dakota tells Sam to make it up to Caitriona." And he did. 2 weeks later, at a charity gala in Edinburgh, Sam and Caitriona made their first public appearance together since the drama began. When they walked into the ballroom, hand in hand, the tension in the room melted instantly. Cameras flashed, fans cheered, and for a brief moment, it felt like the storm had passed. During his speech that night, Sam turned toward Caitriona and said, "There's no one else I'd rather share this journey with. She keeps me grounded, and she reminds me what really matters." The crowd erupted in applause. Caitriona smiled, genuinely this time, and mouthed a simple, "Thank you." That clip went viral again, but this time for the right reasons. Fans flooded the comments with relief and love. "They're unshakable," one tweet read. "Nothing can break that bond." Behind the scenes, their reconciliation was quieter, more personal. Sam later admitted to friends that he'd learned a hard lesson about the cost of words. "I was careless," he said. "And when you care about someone as much as I care about her, you can't afford to be careless." For Caitriona, the ordeal reminded her of how powerful their connection still was, and how fragile it could become under the spotlight. "We've been through everything together," she told a colleague. "Fame, rumors, heartbreak, laughter. But at the end of the day, we always find our way back to friendship. That's the real story." Weeks later, Sam posted a quiet message on social media. No hashtags, no mentions. Just a black and white photo of him and Caitriona on set, laughing between takes. The caption read, "Some bonds don't need to be explained, only protected." That single post silenced the noise. Fans knew exactly what it meant. Because in the end, the confession that had nearly torn them apart only reminded the world, and each other, of what had always been true. That between Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe, love might take many forms, but it never really disappears.